Hi, this is Brian Walther from the American Storytellers. You can check us out on Facebook.com/American Storytellers. And today I'm here to show you and unbox a new drum set that I purchased. This drum set's from NATAL Drums out of England, and I ordered it from Musician's Friend. And I haven't seen it yet, so we're going to take a look at it. I'll open up the boxes, see what we got, and we'll go from there. Now, it's an interesting story. When I ordered this from Musician's Friend, this is in June of 2018. Today is June what, 11th? June 11th. Originally ordered on Musician's Friend the drum set in the color of gray strata. On there, on Musician's Friend, it said back order until June 7th. So I figured, okay, fine, I'll send it out on the 7th. So I ordered it. June 7th rolls around, I look on Musician's Friend, it says back ordered until June 15th. I'm like, well, that kind of sucks, but that'll do. Then I checked again and it said July. Next day it said August 22nd. I'm like, there's no way I can wait. So I call up Musician's Friend and tell them, well, I noticed the gray strata is on back order till August 22nd. And the lady on the phone that I talked to goes, man, that sucks. And I quote, man, that sucks. I said, well, what I want you to do is cancel it, because I see that the red strata drum kit, which I really didn't want, but that's what they had available for the NATAL drums, is still only on back order until June 15th. She checked, said, yep, that's correct. So I said, okay, order me one of the NATAL drums in red strata. Finally, Danny got it done. I charged my credit card, everything hunky-dory. I go back on the website the next day, and it says the red stratas were back ordered until July 17th, I believe it was. July 15th or July 17th. So at that point, I'm kind of perturbed. So I wind up calling Musician's Friend again. This time I talked to a young man named Doug. Now, I want to give you his, excuse me, not Doug. His name was Paul at Musician's Friend. And the customer service, his name was Paul, his extension is 3187. And the reason I'm giving this to you is because this man, whoever he is, was phenomenal at customer service. Paul looked at the order and said, yeah, we see it's on back order, but something doesn't look right. So he went and got a supervisor, they checked it out, and by the time all said and done with, within 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the most, they found this kit in the warehouse. They said there was something with the inventory that wasn't quite right. So even though this kit was back ordered, he was able to get it to me. And I really appreciate that, and I want to give Paul all the props in the world. Musician's Friend, give Paul a raise. He worked his butt off and he did a great job. And for a customer that's been with you guys for over 10 years, I really appreciate the work that Paul did. So anyway, he got it shipped out the next day. We went and picked it up at UPS today, me and my son. This is the first look at it. I have no idea what it's going to look like, so we'll see. First box, I'm assuming these are drum heads. Yes, they are drum heads. We've got all of the drum heads right here. You see that? NATAL drums out of England. Now this kit itself, I believe, was manufactured in Taiwan, not China. So that kind of helped me decide on this kit as well. Just the features that it has. It comes with all of the hardware. 2 cymbal stands, a hi-hat stand, a kick pedal, tom holders, everything. So for the price point, I don't think it can be beat. It's all birch shells, and it's got really cool looking hardware, triple flanged hoops. So I'll set that over there. Let's see, we can pull out the first drum. And this is a red strata. Now hopefully you can see this in the light. Well, let me take all the hoops. Let me pull out another one, because the hoops, they got lugs on those hoops. Here's the floor tom. Look, let me pull this open. I don't know if you can. Oh, this looks nice. It's a red strata. Can you see the stripes in there? It's red with black stripes going all the way up and down. This is a beautiful kit. Looking at the edges, the bearing edges look really nice. I really should have brought my drum kit upstairs. Pull this out. Oh, there's another one. Here's the other tom. Now how they pack this, they wrapped the plastic over the shells, they put the hoops on top, the bottom and top hoops, and then they put 2 lugs in here to keep them in place so that the plastic doesn't come off, and these drums are protected in shipping. The shipping container has got quite a bit of padding here inside where the floor tom sat, cardboard, and then around the sides too, so don't hit up against the inside of the kick drum. The hardware itself, if you look at these birch shells, nice and cleaned, black screw or black bolts on the inside and washers. Looks really nice. It's got the Sun logo hardware lugs. Everything looks really nice on there. Let me pull the kick out. Oop, there's one of the hoops. Let's take a look at the hoop. It's completely wrapped, which is nice all the way around. Oh, pretty hoop. Can you see that? And the hoops are color matched to the kit. They got the red strata wrap finish on the hoops. Wood hoops, so they're not made out of plastic or aluminum. It's got the seam on the bottom with the hoops attached. This looks really nice. Do see a little finish gaff. Can you pull in there? And see that right here on the one hoop? Though the wrap or the finish is kind of cut short. Let's see where that would be located at on this hoop when I put it on. Looking for the seam. The seam is here. That is right here down towards the bottom, so that would be on the bottom. So that will be covered up when the kick is playing, you know. So nobody would see that, and not that anybody would see it anyway, but I definitely won't see it. So not that big of an issue. So there's one of the hoops. Pretty. I'll throw a little bit of stain on there, probably some red stain. Cover that up. More packing material. This came in 2 boxes. So I'm going to do the ones with the drums and then other ones with the hardware. So we're looking at the ones with the drums first here. Pull the drum out. Got a pair of sticks even. And the other hoops right here. And it's got a little spacer on there for the kick pedal. Got a pair of cheap sticks. Cool. Flip this box over. Oops. Let me pull this off. This is a pretty kit. It's a little darker than I expected, but I like it. Still would have preferred the gray, but that's just the way it goes. It's not Musician's Friend's fault that NATAL did not get the stuff shipped early, but I do have kind of an issue with Musician's Friend on that aspect. I understand that you got stuff on back order and you want to sell it and reserve it ahead of time, but the fact that the dates kept changing after I purchased it and after people have purchased the kit is kind of disconcerting, because the reason I bought this kit was because we have a decent sized gig coming up at the end of June, and I wanted to get a new kit for it. I didn't want to use my old kit. And so I needed at a specific time, and given the original back order date, it shouldn't have been I didn't think it was going to be an issue. But if I would not have looked on their page, the only notification I got about back order was when I initially ordered it. When they changed the dates and furthered the back date up until August, I never heard a thing from them. So if I wouldn't have been constantly checking, I would have not known, and it would have been the 15th or so before I would have been able to check to see if it had gotten shipped out, and then I would have been SOL on getting it in time. So, musician's friend, I would appreciate and would hope that in the future, that when you have a back order date put on there, that, you know, it's a little more set in stone. I'm looking at this, I notice on the finish, there are some glue spots. Excess glue that's going to have to be cleaned off. Nothing major, just a couple little spots on the finish where there's glue. This has got the logo. The logo says British design, Natal Arcadia, established 1965. Hardware looks good. I love the fact that it's got these rubber gaskets on the hardware where everything meets. Even the sound hole port got a rubber gasket in here. This is really nice. The kick legs, they do not go through the kick drum. They're side mounted, which is nice. The hardware seems pretty sturdy. Looking at the bearing edges of the kick, it looks nice. There's 45-degree angles cut in them. The seams on the drum itself of the shell look good. There's one here and one here, I believe. So this has got two seams. And they both look good. All right, be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Had to have a phone call there. Important business. Anyway, so the lugs all have rubber gaskets or plastic gaskets. Even the air hole port. I don't know if you can zoom in on this. The air hole port. Can you see that right here? Can you zoom in on that?
Yep.
It's even got a lock washer on it. So they're not. What I like about it, it's not riveted in, so if I ever decide at any point I want to change the wrap on it, I can take that out and not have to get a new sound hole port grommet. I'm just looking through here, double checking the finish. Everything still looks pretty good. I said there's a couple spots where they got some excess glue, but I can live with that. This looks like it's a really nice kit. The shell's really good shape. Love that birch. Smells like birch. And that is the first box. That is the drum shells themselves. Like I said, it comes with it's a 5-piece kit. It comes with 2 toms, a floor tom, and 22-inch kick for the bass drum, 22 inches, 16 for the floor tom, and I believe these are 10 and 12, I believe. Really like the hardware, the mounts are good. Now let's take a look at the other box. And this will be the hardware. Let me set this down over here. Just about stabbed myself. Man, that's pretty. Each box weighs about 50 pounds when it came shipped in. Assuming this is all the hardware. Better be all the hardware. Did not come with a drum stool. But like I said, for the price, you're getting a lot for your money, and the stuff looks to be of pretty good quality. But it's Natal drums, so anybody that's ever used Natal drums know that they're original series and they're racer series or whatever it's called. They're really good quality drums. This is the third in the line. Let's see what we got. We got a few boxes in here. Let's see what we all got. Box number 1. Hi-hat stand. Looks pretty decent. Double brace legs. Clutch. Everything's there. Cool. I'm not going to go through each piece individually because I don't want this to be 6 hours long. Box number 2 comes with straight cymbal stand, double brace legs. Three floor tom legs. Good quality stoppers on the legs. And a drum key. What else we got here? And then this one is, I'm assuming this is the boom stand, boom cymbal stand. Okay, set that there. It comes with felts already on it. Get these other boxes out. What's this? The packing list from Musician's Friend, I'm assuming. Yep. Box B, Arcadia U22, UF22, 5-piece drum set with 22-inch bass drum. This here is maybe the snare stand or tom holders, both. Snare drum stand and the tom holders. Now this is what I was going to look at to see that I find interesting. On this tom holder, now a lot of kits have this same similar design for tom holders. Let me get this off. It's your kind of standard tom holder, like for Tama drum kits have something similar to this where they have the ball in here. But if you'll notice, if you look at here, zoom in on that if you can. That ball is made out of aluminum. That's not plastic, which means it will not crack over time, it will not harden and get brittle. That's made out of aluminum, which should hold a lot better and last a lot longer. So, and that is, I barely clamped down on this, and that ain't going nowhere. Awesome. The finish on this stuff is really nice. It's got the brand name on it, NATAL. Memory locks. Awesome. 2 boxes left to go. This here is the kick pedal, NATAL kick pedal. Looks pretty sturdy. It's got 2 chains on it and a spring. The batter head, or the batter on there, beater. Hardware for the kick drum. And what's nice about this hardware for the kick drum too is it's also got rubber spacers you can put in against the hoop, so when the claws grab onto the hoop and tighten up the hoop, it doesn't mar and nick and scratch the hoops. And then some lug screws for the kick, I'm assuming. One more, and this must be the snare drum, because this is supposed to come with a snare drum. So this is the snare. Looking at the snare, this is the snare drum. It's got the same finish as the rest of the drums. I think this is a, I think let's say 14-inch snare, I believe. Standard size snare. Nice hardware, nice lugs, triple flanged hoops. Standard snare strainer. It's got a cloth strap to hold it on. It's got a release. Adjustment mount right there to tighten the snare up. Let's see what it sounds like right out of the box. We'll work on the snare. I'll get that set up and tuned. It comes with a Remo UT drum head made in China. So it's got the cheaper drum head. Let's see. Let's take a look at what these are. These are Remo UT drum heads. The batter head and the bottom head. So they're all Remo UT drum head made by Remo in China. So the drum heads are, and that's to be expected, they're going to be the relatively cheaper drum heads, but they are branded. So eventually you'll get new drum heads for everything around. The kick drum head, I'm assuming the batter head's probably the same thing. Yep, Remo UT, made in China. And that is the drum kit. I'm going to set it all up, and once I have it all set up, I'll come back and show you what it looks like all set up. So thanks for watching, and see you in a minute. Bye. Okay, so I got it set up roughly. Got it set up. A real quick tightening of the heads. I haven't really taken the time to tune them yet, other than just getting them tight and getting them in the ballpark. Now, everything looked great on this kit, except for one thing. Right over here, and I'll show you in pictures, there's a finish flaw in the wrap. Where the lines are supposed to be straight, it angles up real quick, and you can tell it's a finish flaw in the wrap. And this is from the NATAL company. This is not anything to do with Musician's Friend. This is in the actual manufacturer's process. Musician's Friend get these in a box, and I'm sure they didn't open it up and look through it to see if there was any finish flaws or anything like that. I will be contacting NATAL and Musician's Friend to see how they're going to remedy that situation, because that's completely unacceptable. Anyway, that's that. But here's roughly how the kit sounds. Overall, I'm pleased with the overall kit. Like I said, this issue's got to get fixed. I'll reserve judgment on how NATAL is as a company until we see how that gets resolved. Otherwise, the only other minor little thing is there's some surface scratches on the finish, but that's to be expected. It is NATAL's low-end line of drum kits, and that can be buffed out with a buffing cloth. The hardware is solid as a rock. The tom mounts are solid. The kick drum pedal is beautiful. It's smooth. The hi-hat's nice and smooth. I have no complaints on any of the hardware. Actually, the only issue I have is the finish flaw. I don't have the other small tom hooked up because I'm not going to use it. So I'm just going to keep that in the bag and keep it unused and put it in the case like that, because I probably, for the gigs that I'm doing, will never need that extra tom. I'm going to be adding some parts of electronic kit onto this, and some more cymbals. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more cymbals that I've got to add with this kit. But like I said, overall, great sound. It's built like a rock. I'm happy with it, especially if I get this fixed, I'll be extremely happy. Once again, Paul at Musician's Friend, what is his extension? Paul at Musician's Friend, extension 3187. Thank you again. Great guy. He helped out quite a bit. He did a phenomenal job at Musician's Friends. I give nothing but props to Musician's Friend on that aspect. Just in the future, please, if you're going to have something on back order and you put a date on it, make sure that's the actual date so that people buying it aren't waiting 3 or 4 months. Like I said, if that would have been, originally wanted to get the gray Strata, and I settled for the red. If I would have been able to get the gray, I probably wouldn't have that issue. Now I got to deal with that. Or I would have been able to buy another kit, because I would have known that this one was, that one was not going to be available. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you like it. If you have any comments, if you play NATAL drums at all or have any opinions on this, leave your name in the comments below. Later, Gators. Thanks for watching. Bye.